guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are well. I really hope my camera does not keep turning off this time because it is in the sun, and every time I film a video like this it literally stays on for 2 minutes and then it's off for 2 minutes and then it's on for 2 minutes because it overheats. So fingers crossed. Surprise, surprise, your girl has got a McDonald's. There was no M on the back there. I've gone for 9 chicken nuggets today, guys. I tried to get the garlic dip that I had in my last McDonald's video with my boyfriend. You should go and watch that. That was really cute. He never agrees to do a video with me, so that was a once in a lifetime experience, guys. I did try and get the garlic sauce, but they don't do it anymore, which is very odd because it must have only been on the menu for like a week or two. They now have chipotle mayo or a creamy ranch, and I thought the closest thing to the garlic mayo is the creamy ranch. So let's see what we think. Oh, fries. Oh my god. Hot, salty, floppy, and amazing. Everything I need in a fry. It's like the moment of truth for me when I have my first fry at McDonald's. Is it going to be shit or is it going to be a good day? Thoroughly enjoying them. And you girls got 9 McNuggets. I'm not gonna lie, 6 just never is enough. Like, I can always eat more after 6. God, I nearly had a heart attack. I thought I had 8 in there then. I was like, this is not okay. But we're all good. So today we're coming back with a video that I haven't done in literally like the longest time, probably like over a year, guys. And that is just having a little girly chat. I'm gonna be like your big sister today. We're gonna do a bit of advice, talk about issues that's going on, anything girly related. This is for you. We're trying the creamy ranch. I can get behind that. Hell yeah, I can. I just thought, what a fun way to have a little chat, you know? So if you're a guy, keep scrolling. This is for girls only. And it just makes it even better by eating McDonald's. What more could you want? Finding it hard to be happy for others when they get what you want. I struggle with it. Normal? Question mark. First thing I want to say is I would say this is 100% normal. And I also think like good for you for acknowledging it. Like, I think that shows that you're not a bad person. I think that if you're in denial about it and you are very much like bitter about the fact that they get what you want, or you are happy with feeling like that, I think that's when the issue would not be okay. Do you know what I mean? This is a good McDonald's day. I feel like it's normal. I feel like because it's something that not many people would want to admit to, it probably doesn't seem as normal as it is. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna hold my hands up and say there has 100% been a time where someone else has, well, yeah, it happens all the time for me. Oh god, my camera nearly went. It honestly happens all the time for me. People are gonna get stuff that you want all the time. And that doesn't make them better than you. That doesn't make them cooler, more impressive. It doesn't mean they've worked harder. It can also be annoying if they get it when they didn't work as hard as you. And it can almost feel like the world is against you. Like, why me? Why am I getting that? I'm working my ass off. I've done this, and this. They've done that. Why do they get it? Why don't I? But I really, really do think it's just life. Like, it is just what happens. You know what I mean? This is where the world is giving you an opportunity to almost take a step back and be like, hang on for a second. Me feeling this way towards it is not benefiting anyone, and it's probably not the best trait to have. Jealousy isn't the best thing to feel, one, for you and just in general, because if you start feeling that towards other things, it's just going to bring everyone down. Do you know what I mean? Because you might start subconsciously not treating that person as nicely as you were before they got this thing that you wanted. I think you should try and change the jealousy towards being envious and being like, that is so cool, she's got it. That shows that it's within reaching distance. If she can get it, I can get it. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna do what I can to get that. And try and think about all the things that you have in life that like you've worked for and that you've tried hard for and you have been successful with getting. For me, I struggle with it a lot in terms of like numbers with social media. When I see people don't even try that hard with their content, or maybe they haven't been doing it as long as me, or anything like that, and their video just flies, or they're gaining followers like so much constantly. I'm like, I've wanted this since I've been a little girl. I've been trying so hard. I work so hard. I put in the effort. I do my research, yada, yada, yada. Why hasn't it been my time yet? But you have to stay in your own lane and remember we're all on separate journeys. This is my life. That is their life. We cannot control the outcome of a situation. I mean, we can control it to a certain extent, but we will not have full control over a lot of things. Like if it's that they've got a pay rise, you haven't, like, no doubt agreed that you have probably been working your ass off and they might not have. But if they have a different relationship with the manager or something, like, you just never know. I think stick to your guns and keep working towards it, whatever it is, but try and switch them thoughts around. Remember, we're all on our own path and what is meant to come for us will come. Maybe there's a reason you haven't quite got that opportunity yet. Maybe it's because you're meant to go down another path for something else. Maybe it's because you're going to get it in the future. Maybe it's so you can work on this feeling that you're getting towards that. Like, you never ever know, but what is meant to be yours will be yours. You've just got to stay consistent and stay positive. If the plan isn't working, change the plan, but do not change the goal. That is a piece of advice I'd give. The camera literally is already just turned off. Someone said, I'm chatting with a boy, but I don't know if he's feeling it for me. And someone else says, how do I know if a boy likes me? Guys, I don't know if I'm the right person to talk to you about this because my dating history has not been the best, let me tell you. I am somebody that if I'm feeling something for someone, obviously I have a boyfriend now, but in the past, then I would literally couldn't hold it in. You know how they say like treating me and keeping keen, play hard to get, yada yada yada. There was none of that with me, guys. I am such an obsessive person that as soon as I have a crush on this person, it becomes my life. Red flag, I can't help it. After like a couple weeks, like big ass paragraph being like, hi, just to let you know, like I kind of like you. I just wanted to let you know. Guys, it's not the vibe. Is that a good thing? I don't know. I think it's good because it's getting it off your chest, letting the person you like know how you feel. But I feel like it's different for every situation. They do say treating me and keeping keen, and maybe that is the way you need to go about it. But then if you are like me, that is impossible, literally impossible. So my advice would be, read the situation, right? Are they being a bit more touchy with you than someone else? Or on the other hand, they might be purposefully ignoring you a bit more. Like that sounds silly, but people play games these days, you know what I mean? They literally might be purposefully ignoring you or treating you a bit meaner than someone else. Just notice a difference in how they act with you than with somebody else. If they're asking you to come out, if they're asking you if you're going somewhere that they're gonna be, I feel like until you have that actual conversation about how you feel about each other, you're never gonna know 100%, unless it is literally blatantly obvious because they're obsessed with you. Try and notice what they're like around you compared to other people. Just freaking turn off again, guys. Not gonna lie, guys, I feel like guys are a little bit easier to read. You should know if they like you. Like, are they flirting with you? I feel like even if it's not blatantly obviously flirting, if they're being a bit cheeky with you, I mean, it depends on the person. They might get a little bit more nervous around you, or they might look at you after they said a joke. If you flirt with them, are they then flirting back with you? And I think a big one is not only when you just hang out with them, but on message, because it's so easy that when you're hanging out with somebody in person for them to like reciprocate the good vibes, and then you go home and message them and they take like 2 days to respond, and then when they do, it's like blunt. And also don't get fooled that if they are taking like a day to respond, then when they do respond, it's like really good vibes. I do not care. Like, if you like somebody, they are gonna make the effort to talk to you. If I fancied someone in the past, and like this was like with Ben, like when I started fancying him, I was actually checking my phone all the time to see when he was messaging me. And I know people do like, oh, they've taken 10 minutes, I'm gonna take like 15 minutes. But if you're literally waiting like over a few hours, then it's probably not the best sign. Of course, if they've said like, oh, I'm not gonna go on my phone from this time to this time, they're like letting you know. But if they're literally gone for like a couple days and you've seen they've been out and about and like they haven't spoken to you, then they're not that bothered. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to take the signs of signs and not be like, oh, maybe they're doing it on purpose. Like, no, like take a step back. And I also think like maybe ask to hang out with them one-on-one and see what they're like one-on-one. I feel like then you'll get a good kind of vibe of like what they're feeling as well, and like how it goes. So obviously it is always different if you're in like a big group. Are they making conversation with you? Are they asking you questions, or are you holding the conversation? Are they wanting to hang out with you? I'm jealous of friends' figures who are slimmer/smaller. I'm tall, I'm 5'11", so feel big around them. Okay, I feel like I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm also 5'11", and I'm not super slim or anything. Obviously, I've worked my mindset so much towards this issue. When I was like 13, I was like 5'9", and all my friends kind of was like 5'2", 5'3", and they've all kind of stayed around 5'2", 5'3" growing up in school, and I always felt really tall. All the guys were really like short, and I was like really tall. And obviously at this point, I definitely had the mindset where like I thought I needed to be really tiny to be attractive, and I just wish I was like really small and petite and like cute. I thought I could only be cute if I was like small. I've worked on my mindset a lot now, but it definitely does creep in a bit when I am surrounded by my friends, because a lot of my friends are like 5'3" and very tiny builds, which like they're incredible, but like so am I. Do you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make me any less attractive, any less like cute, anything. So I think just reminding yourself that you are literally a boss ass bitch. There is nothing wrong with being a tall girly, and it's actually so cool to be tall. And any guys that say you need to go get some shin pads on to play rugby, because I've had that one before, or about playing basketball or anything, like, you need to just remember that is their insecurity. They are insecure and they are projecting onto you. There is nothing wrong with you. Your height is not an issue. It's so cool that you're 5'11" or taller or smaller, or however tall you are. If you're not super skinny, like, there is nothing less attractive, nothing less beautiful with you for being slightly bigger than your friend. Also, remind yourself that there's nothing wrong with your body, and it's all mental. Like, all the work that you need to do is on your mindset and your mentality towards this. Also, remember that like the happiest version of you is going to be the healthiest version of you. If the healthiest version of you is a slightly bigger build than your friends, then so be it. And I think that is so much more worth than meeting society standards and like looking the way society says is attractive. If your healthy body looks slightly different to what society says is beautiful, then the issue lies with society, not with you. Hopefully none of your friends are making any comments about like your height or your size or anything, and they literally love you for the way you are. And if they are making any comments, then you need new friends, babe. Don't let the way your body looks affect how much fun you're having or the time you're having with your friends, because these are times you're never going to be able to get back in the future. And to not enjoy them because of the way that you look when you're already perfect would be such a shame, because there's nothing that needs to change about you. It's to do with society's standards, you know what I mean? And also think about all these tall, amazing girlies that are like famous that you might look up to and be like, they are so cool. And if they were stood next to someone 5 foot, you wouldn't think, oh my god, she's a giant, that's really embarrassing. You'd think, oh my god, they both look so good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, try and think about it from an outsider's perspective, like as if you're in someone else's shoes. Dating advice to get what I deserve. I love this question. It depends on the type of person you are. For me, I am very much a people pleaser. I am very emotional. I'm very sensitive. I'm very in tune with my emotions. I get affected very easily by things. I'm not, okay, yeah, I am a bad bitch, but I'm not like, this is how it's gonna happen or you don't get me kind of thing. Although I do think that is a brilliant mindset to have, it's not for everyone. Do you know what I mean? For me, communication is key. Communication is one of the biggest things I could recommend in a relationship, like something that me and Ben have worked on so much for each other. And I also think like there is very much the mentality nowadays of, you know, women empowerment, boss bitch energy, like that guy doesn't do what I say or he steps 1 foot out of line, then like he's gone kind of thing. Although I think that's absolutely incredible and women are really like finding their ground a bit more and sticking to their guns, I think that's so cool. At the same time, everyone is still human and people make mistakes. People aren't going to be perfect 100% of the time. Sometimes we'll be tired, sometimes we'll be in a bad mood, sometimes we just make a mistake, you know? Obviously you do need to be realistic. We wouldn't want to be controlling, you know what I mean? But setting fair boundaries is completely okay. You do not want to just be walked all over because they feel like they can get away with anything. If they are walking all over you, then maybe they're not worth it. If you feel strongly about something and something's upsetting you or you don't quite agree with something, voice it and communicate it and say, from now on, I want to be treated like this. I want this situation to go this way instead of the way it's gone. I want this to happen, and say, I am truly like upset by this and this means a lot to me and it makes me upset that you would even consider doing that because it makes me feel this way. You have to be, sorry, I got really itchy eyelid. You have to be honest and open, else nothing will change. Boundaries are such a huge thing, and even if it feels like you are nagging and nagging and nagging and nagging, you need to voice whatever issues there are. If they're like, oh my god, you're so psycho, you keep coming at me, making out I'm doing things wrong, you stick to your guns. Don't back down because you feel like you keep saying things. If you don't say them things, they will never get resolved. So setting the boundaries and communication would be my 2 top tips. I'm self-conscious with stretch marks. I don't have the confidence to get my legs out. That makes me so freaking sad to hear, like so sad, because stretch marks are not ugly. Stretch marks are not embarrassing. Stretch marks do not have anything negative about them. Anything. They are incredible. They show growth. Whether you've gained weight, lost weight, got taller, whatever. All they are just pieces of evidence of showing that. They do not have to be a bad thing. Any of those ways of growth, whether it is losing, gaining, growing taller, any of those things do not have to be negative. It's just the way our bodies work. I think for me, like, I feel so lucky that my body works correctly and it works in the way that my body can react to these growths. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, I've gained weight, oh my god, I've grown taller, my body gives me stretch marks. It's working properly, and that is exciting, and that is like a positive thing. I think if you learn to embrace those stretch marks, to really see the beauty in them, that you would never, I think I've said this analogy before on one of my videos, but you would never look at tree bark and be like, oh my god, that's so ugly because of the lines in it. You'd think like, that is just what tree bark is. It's what a human body does. It creates stretch marks, and there's nothing ugly about that. And if other people around you are making you feel uncomfortable because you have stretch marks, or they're judging you or making comments about it, that is a complete them problem. They need to work on themselves if they are out negatively commenting on beautiful human regular bodies. That has nothing to do with you. You shouldn't let that stop you from getting your legs out, wearing cute skirts, wearing shorts, wearing dresses. Whatever it is you want to wear, those stretch marks are going to be a beautiful addition to that outfit that you're wearing on that day. And I really, really hope that you start to see the beauty in them and you start to rock those stretch marks as you should, because you deserve to. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video there, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I am doing my podcast every Tuesday. That's on Positively Me Pod. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'll link it in the description box below. I also have started posting on my Positively Me Pod Instagram account, which is very exciting. So I have been putting that off for quite a while. So I hope you guys are enjoying the posts on there. All my socials are linked in the description box below. It's just Brooke Paintain on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Obviously, you're watching this. Like, comment, subscribe if you did enjoy, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. I love you so much. Have the best week. Mwah.